The Ministry of Defence is among the top recipients in the 4.29 trillion shillings budget passed by Parliament after the Appropriations Committee report was adopted.
Quorum in the House.
But even as defence spending rose, funding to primary, junior and secondary schools will cut by 5.9 billion shillings. The school meals program also took a hit, reducing by 600 million shillings from the initial 3.6 billion shillings. The reduced education capitation is intended to cover the cost of administering and supervising national examinations, expenses that had initially been overlooked in Treasury's printed budget estimates.
I have proposed a total allocation of 702.7 billion to the education sector, which is almost 28% of our entire budget.
Development spending was reduced by 3.5 billion shillings, affecting areas like health insurance subsidy for orphans and vulnerable children, which lost 100 million shillings.
Reducing poverty, inequality and vulnerability, as well as promoting economic growth and social cohesion. I have in this regard proposed an allocation of 41.4 billion in this budget to protect the vulnerable members of our society.
Among those that received a boost were the newly created administrative units, locations and sub-locations, which received an additional 100 million shillings to support operationalization. Livestock support services were boosted by 100 million shillings. The State Department for Crops got 430 million shillings for seed distribution and 350 million shillings to promote food security and diversification.
To enhance milk processing, I have proposed an allocation of 400 million for excess milk mop-up and 150 million for modernization of milk processing factories in Runyenjes and Narok. A total of 6.5 million registered farmers have benefited from the fertilizer subsidy program. And as a result of these initiatives, the cost of fertilizer has declined.
Meanwhile, the Treasury also announced adjustments to the digital tax, citing public feedback, including from last year's Gen Z protest.
We were mindful of what Kenyans said during the Gen Z moment, and we therefore were very careful that we don't introduce new taxes. What we did in the finance bill was just to address first cleanup, because there were a number of inaccuracies, inconsistencies.
Linda Koskei, K24 TV.